There we go.
There, go.
Hello. Hope everybody's out there.
There you go. Good morning.
Today is Sunday, June the 1st, 2025, and we are live. Yeah, we're a little bit, we're what? 1 to 2 minutes late, but that's because of
2 minutes late.
blame Myles. Actually, it's my fault. I forgot to do a setting in it, and it kind of like, no, you ain't doing this. Hope everybody's doing good. Well, the weather for today is going to be cloudy, some more clouds, and rain about 1,300. 40% chance of rain at not 1,400, 1,300. What do you think about that, Miss Myles?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Hello, Sandy. How you doing? Well, so far, I don't know how many people in the room. One is better than none.
Good morning, Sandy.
That's the way I look at it. One is better than none. Hope everybody's doing well. Staying out of trouble. So what do you want to talk about today, though? No, put the phone down, man. Put the phone down. You can be sitting there playing on your phone while we're...
I'm not playing. I'm setting with your
Hey, Beth, how you doing? Thank you. Yes, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Is it Sunday? Yes.
Yeah, it's right there, man. Did it let up? Yes and no. Like, I think it's just the pressure front coming in from this weather. Because like I said, it's not as yesterday. It felt like the top of my head was just going to open up and my brains were going to spill out. Myles was feeling the same way, right?
Yeah, my
Huh?
feels the same way.
Your headache.
Yeah, until now still have.
Well, mine's a lot better. And I found out the more coffee I drink, the lesser it hurts. So I guess caffeine helps relieve the pain. I don't know. I ain't a doctor.
This part.
Where? Right here? In your temples? Mine was all up top right here. It might have been down here a little bit, but I felt most of it right here. Right on top of my head.
Getting old.
What does age have anything to do with it? See, I used to get, when I was back in the States, I used to get headaches all the time. And I think that was just environmental related and stress related. I mean, I have no stress here, right? Only once in a while.
Is what's that? Stress, environment stress.
Environmental stress.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Like, when we're around the drama kings and queens,
Mm-hmm.
I start getting a headache.
Yeah. Noise.
Noise, yeah. Well, noise don't bother me that much. It's just when people are making something out of nothing, when they try to make their problems your problems,
What else?
you know. But we don't have anything planned for today, do we?
No.
Why not?
No plan for today. Do you have plan?
No.
Oh. Hi, good morning, Beth. Good morning.
Yeah, Beth. Hey,
Hello,
Peter, how you doing,
Peter.
man?
Good
Hey, Peter,
morning.
are you in I'm trying to remember, are you in Australia or are you in the Philippines? I believe you're in Australia.
Australia.
But watch, it says, no, I live in New York.
He told you one time that you asked one time.
Actually, I loved Australia, man. But you want to know something? When I was in the
Hi,
military,
good morning, Timothy.
when I was in the military, we went to Australia. Okay, we went to Sydney and met up with some Australians. Okay, and they told me Sydney's not Australia. What you need to do is get out of Sydney and go explore. We weren't there long enough to get out and explore. Plus, we were there to do a job, huh?
What do you mean? Sydney is not a part of Australia?
Maybe Pete understands what I'm saying. In other words, It's a big city. Sydney's a big city. You know, but that's what they told me. They said, if you want to see Australia, get out of Sydney. Where is your cousin?
Australia.
Where in Australia?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Never been there. Hey Tita, what's up? How you doing?
Tita
Timothy Clark,
Marie.
how you doing?
Tita Marie, good morning.
Oh yeah, and Australia's big. But is it true most of Australia is hasn't been explored? In other words, they're nobody's there except for the indigenous people. But they say it's so wide and it's so big that a lot of places nobody's even been there. I don't know. You know, you hear the urban legends. There's a lot of reverb. All right, let me check this out. Hold on a second. Let me try something here. How's it working out there, teacher? I don't know what to do. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. How's that?
Is it okay now, the sound, Tita Marie?
You getting it good? You getting it better? Kind of echoes. It might be better now because I shut off my.
Big microphone.
I shut this microphone off. So hopefully it's a lot better.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tita.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying to be professional and have this mic. This mic works good on its own without these. This is the Rode. If I ain't using the Rode and I could just have this mic, it comes in really well. But the only problem is my gain, because Myles speaks very softly, it would have a hard time with it because it wouldn't be worth it.
Speak softly, love.
What is Tita? What's today's topic, Myles?
Today's topic is
Let's talk about patience and some of the things you got to go through in the Philippines. And your opinion's your opinion, my opinion,
Yeah,
my
okay.
opinions, okay? But let's not sugarcoat it. One thing I think when you come to the Philippines, you have to learn a lot of patience. Like yesterday, okay? Went to the ATM, all right? And after every transition on this ATM, you had to wait 10 minutes to do your next transition.
yeah.
And that's been like that for 3 weeks now. And to me, it's kind of like one, and they know about it because the people at the municipality told them. They call every time there's a problem with the ATM, the municipality calls. There's nothing else municipalities can do. It's that's it. You know, they're basically they are the messenger. It's been 3 weeks and this ATM hasn't been fixed. With another glitch yesterday, it say if you get 10,000 out, you only get 9,000. If you request for 10,000, okay, you only get 9. But when you get the receipt, it'll say that 10,000 was withdrawn. Yeah, Tita, Myles, her chicken wings. What's the ones you make with honey?
That's, no honey. That's not honey. Barbecue
No.
flavor.
Honey and something. You told me it was honey with something. It looks like garlic or something on it.
Yeah, honey garlic sauce.
Oh, okay.
That
but you
is-
make that from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But
you did, go ahead.
the last one that I made is barbecue flavor. barbecue sauce flavor.
Yeah, that's also good.
Yeah.
Yeah, her wings are like.
It's good.
Now, do you add the breading with that, or do you do it naked? What I mean
Naked.
by huh?
Naked.
Naked is with no breadcrumbs or anything on it. You just cook the chicken wing itself.
Yes, of course. When you marinate, just marinate. Sprinkle some flour.
Flour, just
Yeah,
some.
yeah.
Okay.
Not totally coat. Just make it thicken a little bit.
Yeah.
That's enough. And
Sure.
then not deep fry, just pan fry it, not deep fry.
I thought you deep fried them.
No, just
Huh.
deep, just pan fry until golden brown.
Okay. I like everything deep fried though. Hey, everything tastes great. I thought they were deep fried. I'm being honest with you. I thought they were deep
Not
fried. I don't.
deep,
I, go ahead,
deep
go
fry
ahead.
is covered up with oil, right?
Hmm.
The pan fry is just a little bit, a little bit.
You only put a little bit of oil in
Oil,
it so it
yeah.
doesn't stick. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, when Myles is in the kitchen cooking, she don't want me in there. She always tells me to leave.
Yeah, you know what?
Be nice.
You know what? What is this? What is that? What's it? Blah blah blah.
Well, maybe I want to learn. Maybe I
You
want to
wanna
learn something.
learn.
Now.
But if I am doing something in the kitchen, especially cooking, just leave me alone. Because when someone is with me in there, my mind is already whoosh. I don't know. I don't know what is what other ingredients that I put.
Yeah, but I have to say, a lot of times, say if we go out somewhere to eat and they'll make something, and I'll say, hey, this is really good, like the lomi, okay? And Myles says, oh, I can make that. And then she don't make it that day, okay? Let's not be crazy. But a couple of days later, she'll make it. And what she makes is better than what we had at the, I'm not just saying that, but, I'm being honest with y'all. Hers, I don't know why, but hers is a lot better. But I noticed, like I said, that's why we don't go out at the dinner that much. It's because Myles likes to cook. I like to eat her cooking. Right? And the food tastes a lot better, if that makes any sense. Now, it might cost us more to make it in the house than it would be at the restaurant. I don't know. Does it cost more to make it here than go out to at the restaurant to eat? I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know.
A little bit costly when you make at home, but remember when I make it here, it good for two
Yeah,
meals.
she does. I mean, usually there's enough leftovers for another meal. That's the way she plans it. And but like I said, her food, I think, my personal opinion is that her food tastes a lot better majority of the time than out there. I mean, her pizzas, okay? And everybody knows I don't eat them, I call them Pizza Huts or pizza stands where the crust is real thick. I don't like them. Well, growing up in Philadelphia, or the area of Philadelphia, South Philadelphia to be exact, that's all Italians they are, where the pizzas, I won't eat that frozen stuff. I won't. What?
Yeah, really, Tita Ma, really. I cannot focus to what I am doing in the kitchen.
No, Tita. It has nothing to do because Myles just says that I joke around too much sometimes. I'm not hurtful when I'm joking around, but she's like, you're bothering me, go away.
Yeah, sometimes something like that. It's just keep on blah 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 beside me, and then my mind is already I already forget what else I'm going to add. Tita Marie, the what? the lomi in Bansyong's pancit house is yummy.
Where's this at?
Bansyong, the Mickey house in a highway.
You mean the one right across,
No.
right by the bus,
The one
bus terminal?
burn.
Oh, the one that burned down
Yeah.
and they rebuilt it?
Yeah.
You like that, Mickey? I don't remember having it.
Wait.
Did I have it?
Before Brent, we
Yeah.
went there for 3 times. Their
We had Mickey?
lomi.
No, we had Lomi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 times.
But I still think your Lomi's better.
Yeah.
You have more.
No.
Okay, Myles has. One thing is, I like a hearty. Like I said, it's the Philippine version of chicken soup. If you got chicken in it, okay. Myles makes hers a little bit more hearty. You know, a lot more meat and a lot more. She doesn't get skimpy on the meat or the noodles. So that I think that's one. And I eat one bowl and I'm full. I had enough.
Yeah.
You know. How far are we from Angeles? How far? We're a couple hours away.
Far from
okay,
Angeles
Manila.
City.
Okay, Angeles is south of Manila, right?
Yeah.
I'd say at least 8 to
Maybe
9
6 hours
No.
to
From here to-
7 hours
Miles,
because
Miles.
from
From here to Manila, it's 8 hours.
6 to 7
Okay,
hours.
and if it's south of Manila,
Angeles City is before Manila.
I just asked you if it was south, and you said yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean,
Los Angeles, Pampanga, and then
see, I was.
Manila.
People don't take this the wrong way, and that's fine. Okay, I've been to Angeles City. I've been to Cebu. I've been to Dumaguete. Okay, and it's just not for me. It's just, I don't know. It's just like that place is kind of remind me of Little America, if you know what I mean. And I think my personal opinion is when you live in them places like that, you really don't get the full Filipino experience.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, 6 to 7 hours.
I mean, there's a lot of people come over here, and believe it or not, things are a lot more expensive in them areas.
Yeah, because
know what I mean?
that is we say
It's been
that is westernized place. A lot of foreigners there, mixed foreigners.
Like I tell people, if you already have a Philippine partner, okay, and you got maybe 5 years left before you retire, and you already know in your head that you're going to move to the Philippines, you know, what I did, I'll just tell you what I did, and it's working out great for us, all right? Before I even moved here, well, first place, we bought a property in Lasan, okay? And after a while, I was like, I can't live here. It's just things that were going
It's
on.
nothing there. It's nothing.
And not only that,
nothing.
but just things were going on. It was like I didn't want nothing to do with it, okay? So Myles had a sister-in-law that lived here in Badak. Myles came here, they found this house, it was up for sale. Now, I think we paid a little bit too much for it, right? Now that you really think about it. At that time, we probably could have got it for 1.5. We paid 2 for it, all right? But we probably could have got it for 1.5 million. I mean, it's a big house, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, attached garage. I mean, it's not bad, but at that time we could have got 1.5. Now, who knows?
Yeah, the owner told me that if when the owner and me are already knew each other, I
The
better
woman?
yeah,
Okay.
I better go with them directly for 1.7.
But yeah, that's why I just tell people, because let me tell you what happens, and I've seen it happen so many times around here, so people can't say that never happens, okay? Especially an expat. An expat moves into a place, okay? Say they agree on, let's say 4,000 pesos a month. The expat moves in, gets everything in there, gets all settled, and then all of a sudden, either that next month or the month after that, they get a phone call from the landlord saying, oh, you know, I was thinking about it, and I want to raise the rent. You know, I've seen it. Matter of fact, I've seen it happen to the people right across the road from us. Okay, they raise the rent.
Hi, Darrell.
So
Good
what
morning.
do? Do you give them what they want, or you pack your stuff up and leave? That's up to you. But I rather just own it. I mean, how much was our property tax last year?
20. Tax?
Yeah.
26. 26 pesos.
No, for this, the property tax. How much we pay in January?
1,600
Yeah.
600 plus the property and the house, the building.
Yeah, that's that's how
As
it's
one.
usually like that. We paid 1,600 property tax for the year. Where else can you find in any country for 1,600 pesos for property tax? You know, so I just say, I mean, if you wanna be on a good budget, all right, I would come here. Yeah, you can't own property. Okay, you'll never be able to own the property, but you can own the land. Not the land, I'm sorry, you can own the house. So, yeah, you can take the property, but you can't take my house.
You cannot.
You can buy my house off me for 3, 4, 5 million pesos, but you can't take the property.
This is the what I know is you pay less if they base on the price of the land. They base on that.
So your house has nothing to do with the taxes, it's the land it's sitting on?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
they base on the land, the price and the location, because if the location is good, the price is a bit higher.
Yeah, but right now, even for condos and homes, I think looking around and things I've seen, I think it's inflated. That was that property, 5 million pesos for property that was smaller than our property, and they wanted 5 million for it. You ain't gonna get 5 million.
Good morning, Darrell. Good morning.
Hey, Dal, how you doing, man? Yeah, so I always tell people if you plan on living here until you're pushing up daisies, just buy a place, And before you come here, you buy the place and then you move here. Because you can't work in the Philippines. And I don't care what anybody says.
Good morning,
cannot work
Misha.
in the
Good
Philippines.
morning.
Oh, yes, Misha. We've been getting rain for the past, how many days?
2 days. 2
2
days
days.
straight. Yeah.
And now they're saying, it's not raining right now, but they say we'll have rain around 1 o'clock. I think it's like a 50% chance of rain, so most likely it's going to rain. It's just a cycle, rainy season cycle. Did it rain last night? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not
Not
that
bad.
long.
Nah.
Yeah, just I don't know if 10 minutes only, but a little bit heavy. What I thought is that is already overnight raining.
Yeah, we get that. During raising season, you'll get that a lot where it rains which is fine with me. It rains overnight. And then, like, most of the morning, like now, no rain. And then maybe this afternoon it'll rain for a little bit. And then it's a cycle, the cycle. Which Myles is happy because she don't have to water her plants. And the rainwater is much better for her plants than the city
In the
water.
city, yeah.
Hey, Timothy, what's up?
Timothy Clark.
It's just, I don't know. It's just, I mean, some people say, oh, I'll never buy, I'll never buy. That's up to you, what you want to do. But you also got to prepare. If you own a home in whatever country you're from, do you really want to sell it? Because as you get older and your health starts going down, which it's not the natural thing, right? Your health starts going down, and everybody knows, it's common knowledge that the Philippines health system, it's like I said, it's not the doctors, okay? Most of these doctors are very, very smart, okay? It's the equipment in the hospital. They can only do so much. So half you have to go back to the States, or if you're a vet, you have to go to Guam or Hawaii, depending on what's wrong with you. If you can go back to the States, where are you gonna stay? You're gonna put yourself, become a burden on your family or your kids or whatever. I don't know. Right?
Yeah, but Guam is more closer here in the Philippines than in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's a couple
only
hours flight.
600 miles.
But like that one, I think he was a congressman who was talking to some officer that was running the base on Guam, and the politician was concerned because he didn't want too many troops there, because if it got too many, listen to this is how smart our politicians are. He was worried that if we brought too many troops on the Guam, that it would be too heavy and would tip the island over. That came out of his mouth. And, and the officer, he was looking at him like, what? He says, no,
Why?
that's never going to happen.
How's that?
It's not. The guy's just stupid. Yes, Miss Myles. Yeah, I mean, everybody does what they want to do when they come here. Some guys, they come here and they got this fantasy, I guess you would say, where they believe the hype that every 20 or something year old girl wants some. That's not true. It's a very, very, very small percentage, Now you got the working girls, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they want you, okay? But your average, typical Philippine female, it's not true. Yeah, Brent's tripping, yeah.
Brent's tripping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watch him every once in a while. I think. No. I was going to make a false statement, but I think he's been having this channel for a while. I'm not sure how long, but I think it's been a while. Yeah, like I said, it's not the doc. Everybody thinks that it's not the doctors, man, because I think there's a large percentage of the doctors here go abroad.
Less equipment.
It's the equipment. Especially the private hospitals, okay? The private hospitals, they have maybe a X-ray and a ultrasound. That's it. And ultrasound nowadays, everybody knows, all it is a wand that's on like a monitor, but that's all they have, because that's all they can afford. And what I don't understand, okay, is that a lot of countries give aid for like the educational, the medical, and we're not talking like $100, $200. We're talking millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, as far as aid to the Philippines. It's like, for the medical, and it's kind of like, at least the public hospitals. Where's this money going? I mean, I don't know, and I don't think it's right for me to say, but where's this money going?
Is it Sandy? Brent tripping is in ICU in Oklahoma.
ICU?
Yeah.
Intensive care unit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like
That
I said, I
means-
heard of his channel. I watched him a couple times.
That means it's a serious.
He's bad.
Serious.
He probably
thing.
he got cancer? Yeah, you're right, Weston. $10 plus what? To help you saying you'll be there for another 10 plus?
Ten days in the hospital.
Oh, 10 days in the hospital. Okay. It's that bad? Is he a drinker?
Brent's tripping is not that old, right?
I don't know.
Stomach issues. Had a major surgery, stomach.
Oh, okay. What do you think it is? Ulcers? His stomach.
Almost.
His stomach
Almost died?
Almost died. Oh, okay. Alcoholism. Yeah. 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 Alcohol. I gotta check it. I'll check out his channel. I seen it because yeah, I seen it. I never watched. I watched it like 2 or 3 times. I'm not gonna lie to you all, but I try. I'm gonna be honest, man. I try to stay away from a lot of your Philippine vlogging channels because a lot of them they're not. They're putting out bad information. That's and it's just. Oh yeah, I'll watch his one. I'll watch it. I'll see what he has to say. Is he a young guy or is he just like the same? I'm trying to remember. Is he a young guy or about my
Yeah,
age? I can't remember.
I cannot.
Maybe him and myself could do a collab. And like I said, I watched him a couple because somebody told me and they said, "Hey, I thought you were Brent's tripping," and for a while I was like, "What are they talking about?" And I checked and I watched it. I know I didn't subscribe to him, but I did watch it like a couple of times. But yeah, I'll check them out. Well, Darryl, how old are you? Like you're like 68, right? You're like 68, something like that, Darryl? I'm just joking. Okay, he's
Hi, Darren.
now we know Darryl, man. He's a good guy. He came and visit with him and his wife, and the Yellow House. He's related, not him, but his wife is related to the family
I
that
will be
owns the Yellow
58.
House.
58 this year.
58. I thought you were older than that, though. Actually, look young. Look
No,
young.
it's not look old. That
No, he
age,
looks young.
no, yeah.
Looks young. Believe it or not, I'm only 35. What are you laughing for?
It's 58.
Yeah, 58. He's still young. But now he just, like I said, everybody always tells me about budgets. Everybody lives a different lifestyle, Some guys want to come here and we live the 20s and 30s. I don't. Believe me, I don't. But they find out. A lot of them find out real quick that they might be bringing in $2,000 a month, but they're spending $2,000 a month or more. Yeah, Darryl, you were telling me that 2.5. Are you going to keep your house where you're living now? I feel like I'm talking in a radio. Over. Yeah, this is what I tell people, man. I just said, you got to plan this out. I mean, a lot of people come here and they're not prepared, and then they leave, and they're not mad at themselves, because that's not easy. They're mad that they're saying how bad the Philippines is, and it's not cheap, and everybody's out to get your money, and blah blah blah. It's because they just jumped in with both feet, not prepared. Well, where are you going to live? Oh, I don't know yet. Well, how long you been here? A week, and you don't know where you're going to live. Now I can see if you're a young guy, and you can backpack it, and you go from place to place to place. But people our age, I'll be 61 in a couple of days. People our age, man, that backpacking just doesn't work out. For some it does. Yeah, that's true, doll. Yeah, like I said, man. If you have a house in the States, Me personally, if I had a house, I would keep it. If it's paid off. Now, if you've got a mortgage on it, I'd think a little bit deeper on that. But or at least have a place you can go. You know, like me and Myles. My daughter she lives in Augusta, Georgia. She has a huge 5-bedroom house, okay, and the rooms ain't small. And she told me there's a bedroom down. All the bedrooms are upstairs except for one that's downstairs. And she says that'll be, when you come, that's where you'll be. So I said, oh, that's cool. So we do have a place to go. And the military base is like an army base. It's like 5 minutes from our house. So, it all works. It works out well. Yeah, you believe it or not, Timothy, I wasn't even thinking of the Philippines. I mean, well, I lived in Scotland for 4.5, 5 years. Okay, Dunoon, and I loved it there. And that's what I always said. When I retire, when I'm finally done, that's where I want to go. I want to go to Scotland. No, this ain't Scotland.
Maayong aga from Pennsylvania. Hello, mountain man. Mountain man. Maayong good morning. Good morning.
We're out in Pennsylvania, Mountain Man. Like I said, I'm from Delaware County. That's the lower southeast edge of Pennsylvania. I have family up in Bucks County. I have family up in Pottsville. I have family
Moscow.
in Shamokin. Who?
Moscow.
Moscow.
Is there any Moscow?
Where's that at? I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but is it a real small town? Oh, Scranton. So you friends with Joe, old man Joe Biden? I'm just, I'm just joking. Yeah, I got family. Like I said, I got family. Pottstown, Shamokin, Levittown. And what's you know where the Dutch Wonderland and everything like that? I can't think of it now. Lancaster? Is it Lancaster? Yeah, my family bred like flies and we're all over the place. We even got family in Ohio. And my dad's side of the family, they were all coal miners. Yeah, Lancaster.
Lancaster.
You know what I'm talking about? Where they got the Dutch Wonderland and Hershey's and what else is up there? Yeah, I just
Looking for tropical weather.
you got all the tropical weather you want here. Yeah, it's mine. I left PA when I joined the military and I was 18. I never went. Well, I visit, yeah, but that was about it.
Amish country.
Yeah, Amish. Yeah. They had a park there, and it was called. I mean, it was called Dutch Wonderland. It was cool when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. But when I got to teen years, you looked around like there's nothing to
there.
this place. I mean, it was the food. Right next door to Dutch Wonderland was a all-you-can-eat buffet. I don't even know if it's there anymore.
Yeah, you're right, Tita Marie. You're right.
Yeah, Tita. Yeah, believe me, I lived in Colorado for a while. Lived in Montana, so I know all about snow. I don't. I miss it, but I don't miss it. I miss seeing it. Okay. At least for the first day after snowfall, but after that it gets ugly real quick. But my arthritis doesn't miss it, you know. My rheumatoid arthritis.
Good morning,
don't miss it.
Vince Reyes. Good morning.
Chicago.
Chicago. Chicago.
So is Chicago as crazy as they say it is? Yeah. Yeah, South Side Chicago. Now, never mind, I don't want to bring him up.
South Side.
Yeah, that's what I miss here on Christmas. It's they celebrate Christmas totally different here, and I know a lot of Westerners have a hard time with it because we used to how we celebrate in the West, at least in the States, and it's like totally different here. You know, it's rare that you'll see somebody with a Christmas tree. It's very rare if you see somebody with lights. You know. And it's when you first get here, it is kind of depressing because you're like, God. Because I know, you know, even though I'm at my age, I still look forward to Christmas. You know, yeah, I hate going into like Walmart and hearing the Christmas songs over and over. or you'll get tired of that here. When they start playing Christmas music, September.
Yeah.
Yeah, they start playing Christmas music here and starts September and ends when? After New Year's.
After New Year.
Yeah. So if you're not a fan of Christmas music, stay in your house.
We called it chirake. Chirake?
Oh, Cherokee.
Cherokee? What's that?
Yeah, South Side.
South-
What's that? Where are you
Cherokee.
from? West. Like
Like
Iraq. Yeah. It's a shame, man. It's just there's a lot of opportunity in Chicago. You know what I mean? A lot of opportunity, and it's just maybe being misran. I don't know. I think every city has a lot of opportunity. It's just who they got running the show that tears it down. You know. Look at Pennsylvania. Look at Philadelphia. A lot of things there. It's just being torn down. I don't mean physically torn down, but the desire to go see these places, it's not there. People are like, I ain't going there, you know. Oh, Southwest.
Southwest
I mean, look at Philadelphia. You got Betsy Ross's house. You got the Liberty Bell, places like that. Nobody wants to go there. You know, they're like, I ain't dealing with that crap.
Is it Chicago?
Cherokee. That's good. But there's places here in the Philippines that are. What's that one? That one slum in Manila? The one they always have. You always see videos of it where the houses are up on stilts because of the water.
Water is from part of Tondo, I think.
Is it in Manila, right?
Mm-mm.
The suburbs of, it is a suburb of Manila. Yeah, when you're driving in that area, you can actually smell the place. That's how
Yeah,
bad
like
it is.
Tondo, you're right, Vince. Tondo.
Yeah, I've been to
Tondo.
Chicago. I was a truck driver, man. I've been to Chicago a couple times. And I hated going, I'll be honest, I hated going there. Because it's just crazy, you know? Especially like right around where the,
Squatter?
no,
Isn't it?
no, where the trains are, where everything comes in at. I just hated going there. And some of the places where they tell you gotta go, you're like, how am I supposed to get into this place? You know? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think every city in the United States has something to offer. but it's just not being ran right, you know? It's just being torn, not physically torn down, but just people, the desire to go there. People are like, I don't want to go there, you know? They watch the news and like Portland, Oregon, Seattle. That places used to be like really great there. I remember going to them areas when I was a kid with my dad. My dad was a truck driver, and them places were awesome. Now it's like, God, you don't want to go there, you know? This is sad, man. And from talking to people, you know, in YouTube, I talk to a lot of other creators from different parts of the world. And London's getting like that too. Parts of London where, you know, London, everybody wanted to go to London, you know, go see this and go see that. Now people are like, I don't want to go there with all the problems that they're having.
Quite far away, mountain man. From north to south. Negros Oriental is from the south. And
Negros
Ilocos
Oriental?
region is
Where's that at?
just like somewhere in the south.
In the south? Everything's, well, we're like almost all the way north. We live on the northwestern corner of the Philippines. We're in region 1.
Yeah, south.
So everything is south of us.
East of Bacolod. Bacolod City.
Hey, Mountain Man, do you know Bam? I don't know who I'm, if you know Bam, you know who I'm talking about. Bam and Mercy. Davao, what do you think about Davao?
Davao, they said it's a nice place, but I
Why?
don't think so.
Why don't you think so?
Near the Muslims that is near the Muslim place is mostly of Muslim.
Wait, I thought they're highly Muslim concentrated.
Zamboanga,
Yeah, that's where.
Mindanao.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where all the bad things happen,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so it can't. Oh man, I don't know what I thought. I guess there's another
Some-
guy with his name, Mountain Man. Well, he likes to blow things up. No. I don't know where he's from. He has a beard. That's what I thought you were.
Dingras, Ilocos Norte.
His dad was Dingras.
Dingras, yeah.
Yeah, West, Dow, you're right. The bad part. You can see a volcano.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to live near a volcano.
No.
We get
maybe I can-
enough earthquakes, so I don't think I want to live near a volcano.
But maybe I cannot sleep every night still imagining that the volcano will get erupted every night. No, I don't
How many
want to
times
live
have
near
we
the
woken up in the middle
volcano.
of the night where our bed's going hopping because of the earthquake?
Yeah, the earthquake, but the volcano is just you are in the midst of your sleeping at night, and then the volcano erupt, and then
I am pretty
covered.
sure.
covered
I am pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that they,
Oh,
when
this
it, if a volcano erupts, it's not a surprise. They know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
No, sometimes there is emergency.
It just feels that for earthquakes, they're always wrong. You know what I mean? As far as when it's going to happen. That's just my own opinion. But you know, they're always wrong. Or they just don't want to tell anybody. I don't know.
Yeah, we Ilocano beans, we love pinakbet.
What is that? Pinocchio.
Pinakbet is mixed vegetable, all in one. Cook it
Oh, you
all
had
in-
that?
Yeah, well, I always cook that one.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't-
good. It's good.
Is it?
I eat it, don't
No. Because you don't want the smell of the fish sauce, so.
I? Oh yeah. I don't like this. I don't like fish sauce. No. Is it any good? Vince,
Yeah.
is it any good?
Because he's a Filipino, so he love pinakbet, and he's living. His father is from Bado, and is from Ilocos Norte. Hello, Jeannie. Good
Hello, Jeannie.
morning. Yes, Tita Marie, I am Ilocanang Ilocana. I am from Cagayan Valley, but we transfer here.
He's,
My favorite is pinakbet and bulanglang. You know what is that bulanglang?
tell me.
Bulanglang, what? Squash or pumpkin, some pork, some eggplant,
Well, you know I love
and
eggplant.
some, yeah,
I love it. I didn't like it when I was in the States. I was like,
okra, bitter melon, that is bulanglang. Yeah, very, very good bulanglang. But you know some beans, I don't want, if I cook that bulanglang, I better add some what? Not salted fish. I mean, not fish sauce. I better use aramang in Ilocano. Aramang.
yeah, this. See, what I really enjoy about Myles is okay. I'll try anything once, but once I don't like it, if I have it the first time and I'm like, nope, that's it. It's not that I'm closed-minded, but Myles understands and she won't say anything. Now, we also got an agreement when she's making something I never had before. I tell her, don't tell me what's in it, right? I said, don't tell me what's in it. Let me taste it first. Because, you know, in your head, you're like, oh, God, it's got, okay, shredded fish heads and the newt of a octopus. But then all of a sudden in your head, you're like, oh, I ain't eating that. But see, the way I look at it, I said, don't tell me what's in it. Let me taste it. Now, if I like it, still don't tell me what's in it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't saying nothing. If that makes any sense. All right. But maybe that's why you don't like me in the kitchen when you're cooking.
No.
So I don't know what's in it.
If I cook, I will tell the what is in it. What are
Not all the time.
ingredients.
Sometimes I don't even ask.
Where will
See, I just won't eat anything that has blood in it. I won't. I don't know why.
if
But
I said I will
I
cook,
don't know.
I will cook
That or brain.
dinuguan or dinardaraan. So you can see what's in it because there is there is color.
Does what?
color red for the dinuguan, dinardaraan.
Is it blood? See, what happened was one time in Lasam, they were having this thing. I can't remember what it was, but you know how the traditional, they have all the food laid out, you know, and
Budol fight.
all right, and they had this thing. It was a bowl, and usually Myles is like right real close to me, and I'll say, "Hey, what's this?" But she wasn't there, and I'm going down the line, and if it looked good, I took, you know, we used to call it a no thank you helping. You just take a little bit, so you're not rude, and you try. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You do, you do. But I got to this one bowl and it was all red, and I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden I looked real, you know, I was really looking at it, and I saw an eye in it, and I was like, nope, I ain't eating that.
You
That
remember-
is not happening.
You remember your I think your first time to visit Philippines and lunchtime you sit beside Kuya Ronald and then you have your own, a big plate, and then you put the rice at the middle, all the dishes serving, you took some of it surrounded by
See, also what I liked about Ronald he passed away about 5 years ago. No, 6 or 7 years ago. I
19.
very intelligent man, very very intelligent man. And when Miles wasn't
6 years.
around, and I'll be getting food, I'll look at him, and if he wanted this, I didn't take it. If he wanted that, I took it. You know, what I mean, he got it. You know, he understood that I ain't gonna like everything. He was a really good guy. Unfortunately, he passed away. Really, very intelligent man. But he was funny too. He was funny as hell. Oh, I was going to say, there is no summer here. Well, actually, yes, it is. There's summer 12 months out of the year. That's another thing I miss. I miss the changing of the seasons. You know, from fall to winter to spring to summer. You know, you miss that. You miss the changing of the color of the leaves. Just little things, you know. That's why I think that if you can, always try to make it, you know, maybe, I'm not saying every month or every year, try to make a visit back to the States, you know, so you don't start becoming angry, you know, because you don't see your family. If you have kids, you don't see your kids. And
Hey,
it's easy to blame somebody else for that.
hey Vince, hangka agbakbakasyon dito Ilocos?
Yeah, Vince, we try. Vince, believe it or not, I got in trouble a couple of times. I got slammed by other vloggers because I say things that kind of contradicts what they said, and I was like, dude, I'm just, you know,
Yeah.
I believed all that before I got here, and when I got here, I was like, what? Like I always said, when you arrive in the Philippines, okay, and your plane lands in the Manila, you ain't gonna have 100 girls there waiting for a foreigner, okay? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't, and not every Philippine woman. There's a lot of Philippine women here that don't like foreigners because of past experience they had with other foreigners. Okay? Let's be honest, okay? And not every Philippine citizen here wants your money. You know, a lot of them have a lot of pride in themselves, and they'd rather earn their money. Okay, unfortunately, just like when you go to the States, you know, when you go to the U.S., those people do everything they can to get money from you. Okay, it happens here, but it's not a large portion of them. And that's I just feel a lot of vloggers put out this to make you think that they're waiting at the airport, waiting for that next rich foreigner to come flying in and rescue her and her family. It doesn't happen, man. They got more important things to do, like work and provide for their families. What, Ilocano? It's hard, man. Oh, well, if you know how to speak to people here in Tagalog, they speak Tagalog. But Ilocano, I don't know. You think, well, I'm not going to ask you. You're going to tell me no. But because you talk really fast, so it just seems like all the words are running together. There's no expression when they talk. You know what I mean? Like if you go what, you know, they don't do that. They go what? What's the other one? What do you say when somebody said something to you and you don't understand what they say? And then what do you say so they repeat what they said?
What?
No. There's something else you do.
What?
Is
Of
it
course,
what?
you ask what you ask them to repeat what they saying.
But there is, believe it. I'm going to say, don't be mad. There is times, and I ask Myles, somebody would be talking to Myles in Ilocano. I'm going to say, Myles, what did they say? She goes, I don't know. You know, because either they, what's the reason? Say you're talking, when you're talking to somebody, okay, and they're talking like really, really, really fast.
Yeah.
And I say, Myles, what did they just say? And you look at me like, I don't know.
Yeah, because sometimes they are just talking while walking.
Yeah, the talk. But that's the only thing I have. That's my only thing.
Sometimes I cannot understand what they saying. What they are talking about.
It's just, I think like, remember when I had that translator on my phone? In other words, I could say something in the phone and I could turn it on and I can have repeated in Ilocano, and those people had no idea what that translator was saying. It was Ilocano, but they couldn't just because the way they were taking Ilocano words and making them like English, if that makes any sense. So they were like, I was like, what? And they were like, they had no idea what they were saying. You know what I mean? I guess because they didn't have the accent thrown in there and the rolling of the tongue thrown in there, you know? If that makes any sense, I don't know. But you remember that time when I had it on my phone and I was talking to Badung is her nephew, okay? Really great guy, really great guy. And I said something on my phone, I had it translated into Ilocano, and I went like that, and I hit, to do it. And he's kind of looking at it, and he goes, like, what? He understands English, your basic English.
Hello, good morning, Tito. Good morning.
A lago? What's a lago?
Ilonggo
What's that?
is kind of dialect in the south.
There's this
Ilonggo.
Ilongo.
Yeah. Iloilo from.
There's a lot of dialects here in the Philippines. For being what they say a small country or a country with many islands, and they say 9 times out of 10 each island speaks a different dialect. And how many islands is there here? 7,000? How many islands is there?
7,641, I think.
Now there's also a dialect that it's called the mountain people, okay? And they speak a dialect that nobody knows. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You were telling me nobody knows it. Is it made up? Is it made up? I mean, through the centuries and whatever, this language was developed between them
Yeah.
for like a tribe,
Just
a
like-
village.
Yeah.
So it was made up as they went along to describe a word. You don't know? And a lot of them don't speak Tagalog.
I'm Tita Maris' hubby. Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, Dennis, that's what I tell them. She says, why don't you learn Ilocano? I was like, I got enough problems with the English language. You want me to learn another one? But they say if you understand Spanish, and you can speak Spanish very well, Ilocano wouldn't be a hard language for you to learn. And some say even Tagalog. They say Tagalog would not be a hard language for you to learn. I don't know. Yeah, Dennis, I know English. Yeah. Well, they say the English language is the hardest language to learn because we got all these rules and stuff with it. You know, you can't say this before you say that, and you can't do this before you do that. That's why, if you listen to somebody learning English, like the Chinese or whatever, they're just learning English, and you're like, what the hell are they trying to say? Because they don't know all these rules. I mean, a lot of times you can grasp what they're saying. You understand. You know where they're getting with it.
If there are Chinese nationals that they cannot really speak in English. They just you talk to them, you communicate to them through action.
Yeah.
Through action.
So. Never mind. Yeah, they say English is one of the hardest languages to learn. Right, Bob? What else going on? Yes, Myles is very smart. Sometimes she's too smart for her own good. Right, Myles?
What? PTITB.
Miles can all, well, not that good. Mandarin? You can speak a little Mandarin, right? Chinese?
It's not a Mandarin. We call that Cantonese because
Cantonese?
yeah,
Okay.
they are different.
So what is the original Chinese language? Is it Mandarin or is it Cantonese?
Mandarin,
Mandarin?
Putonghua, yeah. That is their national language.
Yeah, yeah. That's sometimes you're talking about Ilocano or Tagalog. A lot of you think a lot of signs here are in Tagalog, like streets, like when they in your own language. Is it a lot of signs in Ilocano or Tagalog?
Mix sometimes.
Mix?
Ilocano, Tagalog, there's also English signs.
Oh, I'm not talking about the English thing. I know there's the English,
Yeah, there's
the English
yeah.
signs, but what I'm saying is when they have a sign, it's either okay. Let's take the English out of the picture, but is it mostly Ilocano or Tagalog?
Ilocano,
Ilocano.
Tagalog.
A lot of times you'll see like signs here. It's rare, but we'll see them once in a while where they'll have it in. Like Myles says, Ilocano.
Hello, Mel. How are you,
It
Mel?
says Ilocano, but then underneath it, it's in English. Mel's here.
Yeah. Hi, Myles, Brent, and
Hey Mel,
Puppies.
when are you gonna start your channel? I'm just busting on you. You would do very well. I think Mel would do very well.
What's that, Sandy?
What's that, Sandy? What do you need?
This is-
Yeah,
I
I
need
know
your
we're
help.
going. Now you make me feel bad. Now I gotta look. Oh, okay. Hey, how do I convince my husband to come to the Philippines
Oh,
to
yeah.
live, or at least stay for? Haven't watched some of these. Nah, I'm gonna say this, but now I don't know. How can? Sandy, is your husband Filipino? I mean, everybody used to think the only people that come here is horny old men. That's not true. Okay, those you'll see like in the malls. You'll see like you'll see couples that are the same race and they're not Filipino. All right, so it's not unusual. And I mean, you can get a visa, 90-day visa, or something like that. But he has no desire to come here. Or is he just? Let's be honest. Is he scared? Some people just are scared of the unknown.
No, he's not. It's not a Filipino. The husband.
Yeah, Tito, you're right. Just come here like some people. Some people go, well, I'll come visit for 3 days. I said, man, it's going to take you that long to get here. Okay, so
If you want to visit a country which is far away from your country, you have to stay
Germany.
and at least a month. A month.
Hey, Sandy, has he spoken any kind of desire to come here, or he just never even thought about it? All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, culture. Yeah, depends on what Tito. It depends on where you go. You know, I mean, if you go like in Cebu and places like that, them places are kind of westernized. They're expensive, but they're westernized. Now,
Good
places
morning, Larry Barrett.
the places like where I live in Badak, it's all, you know, like I said, Badak is a farming community, okay? Not very many foreigners live here. Not very many at all. So I think that's why, like, you won't see the things here that you would see in them heavily foreigner populated areas. You know, like with the fast food restaurants and the expensive restaurants, because they know the average person here can't afford it. So why put something here where nobody's going to go? Yeah, you will save a lot of money, but like you know, depending on where you go. You go to the tourist areas, you're going to spend a lot of money, because they know that you got the money, or they think, I shouldn't say no, they think you had the money to spend.
Expensive there. Tourist area. Or, yeah, many foreigners. Expensive.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, you're right, Tita Marie. Better to stay to at least 1 month.
yeah, you know, I'm gonna be when I first started flying here, it would cost me
600.
600 $600 to fly round trip. Okay, from Montana to here. All right, round trip. Nowadays, how much is it? It's like 1,000 or so.
No, more than 2,000.
Valencia, Valencia.
Valencia, and from the south.
Yeah, that's pretty. Is it pretty?
They said it's pretty. It's nice place also. This tourist area also. Tourist spot. Many people, many foreigners there.
Yeah, Dumageddon, Dramageddon.
Dramagete.
I rather I rather eat a home cooked Ilocano meal than a restaurant Ilocano meal. It just seems they skip a lot of stuff, you know, and they're making it just to make it. They're not making it with love, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Jenny. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's expensive. Ignore that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of. But here in
It's
Badak,
2,000.
here in Badak, you'll see a restaurant open up, and it's open for how long do you think it's open for? A couple of weeks to a couple months, and then they're gone because people are not willing to go out to dinner that much here. They can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mel, you're right. Warm or cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, warm or
That
cold.
that is why sometimes Brent wants to buy something for lunch in a Toro restaurant. I don't like. I can cook that. We go back home and cook.
Yeah, a lot of times we'll get something out on town and we'll bring it back here. Number one, because the flies, okay? But we'll bring it back here and Myles will heat it up.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how long it's been sitting in that pan. Mel, you know what I'm talking about? Some of them little, what do they call them? Them little,
We call that Toro.
the food. Where toro.
Yeah, Toro.
What's the definition of toro?
Just like you just point at what you want there.
No,
The
okay.
plate.
That's the restaurants where everything's in the pan, right? And you pick what you want. Yeah, you don't know how long that food's been sitting in that pan. And you're like, okay, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I know you've been open since like 7, 8 o'clock. How long has that food been sitting in that pan, you know? So that's why we'll get it, we'll bring it back to the house. and then Myles will heat it up, or I throw it in the microwave and heat it up. You know. Tita, 3,000 for round trip.
In Canada.
Yeah, I know that. But that's
Yeah.
still expensive.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
That's what my nephew said. The four of them
yeah,
of them
about
flying.
traffic. Yeah. I don't think I ever got food poisoning here yet, though. I don't think I have. Because we heat the food
No,
up.
you remember that there was one restaurant with that seafood restaurant there, and then we ate there, and then
You gotta
when we
speak
come
up.
back,
They
when
don't know you're
when,
talking.
when
So you don't want to
when we
shame
back
anybody.
home, when we back home, we feel
Where was this restaurant
the-
at? Just
the
it's around here, or was it somewhere
near
else?
the market. Remember
Oh yeah, it's closed. No, I'm not gonna say the name. Oh yeah, this is one thing, man. When you get food poison, all you want to do is die. Just let me die. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The food was really good, but right towards the end, when it was shutting down, you know what I mean? I'm not saying closing for the evening,
Yeah.
but permanently shutting down.
Yeah.
We got something to eat in there because, like I said, the food's pretty good. And then all of a sudden, but that evening, wasn't it? That night, it wasn't right away. Food poisoning takes longer. That night, yeah, we were hurting. Oh God! And I said, I ain't never going back there again because that's all all I had for breakfast was coffee.
Yeah, you are right, Jenny. Some restaurants are not hygiene.
Yeah. Hey, Sandy, I'm gonna let you know right now, though. Okay, if you ever decide to fly to the Philippines, you gotta get round trip tickets. And the reason why is when you're going through the customs, they'll ask you, when are you leaving? You know what I mean? Now they got what they call throwaway tickets. It costs you, how much did mine cost me? It was like $10, okay? And it was all BS. I mean, there might have been a flight leaving that day, going to where it said it was going, but I wasn't on it. You know what I mean? In other words, it just, when I was coming in knowing I was going to stay permanently, just makes things easier for you. And I told them, hey, and you show it to them, they don't ask no more questions. I said, yeah.
Darrell, 2,200 US dollar is already expensive.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money, though. 2,000 for a round trip. That's a lot of money. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the throwaway. Yeah. Oh, so you plan on staying here a while?
Yeah, it's
Can you get? I should already know this. Can you get open return tickets? In other words,
open ticket.
in other words, you could pay for the ticket, and then say me and Myles got here today into the Philippines, and say, okay, we might be here for 6 months, we might be here for a year, but we are going to return to our country. Could you get an open-end round-trip ticket home?
Open ticket. We call that open ticket.
Yeah, I wonder if you can get one of them. But the way prices, but see, they can say, okay, I don't know. Because the way the prices are like this all the time.
Yeah, but some travel agency still offer, I don't know, to in US or no.
See, I never did that. That's why, I never did it. You know?
You can buy open ticket, but it's a little bit expensive.
I can imagine because they're going to be taking. Now it's okay if you're taking it in the butt. Okay, say you spend. Let's just make a number up. Okay, for round trip tickets you spend $1,500. Okay, but the return ticket is open. But say 4 months from then, okay, that round trip ticket would have cost you $1,000. You think they're going to give you that money back? No.
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 Yeah. Hello, Jeff and Lisa. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, yeah, okay, Wes. Oh, so you're like, Tita, you're like high pollutant, huh? You can fly that business class where they got the lazy boy chairs and Yeah, I used to be jealous, man. I used to be so jealous. And I'm not knocking. Hey, more power to you. I'm not knocking you. Don't take it the wrong way. But you know, sitting all the way in the back for all them hours flying, okay, it sucks. Let's be honest, it sucks. And you always get a person sitting next to you is kind of rude, okay, and it sucks. And then as you're leaving, and you walk by and these people in the business class are all stretched out and they're nice and comfortable, and you're like, and they got their own little personal space. You're like, oh, kiss my ass. But I could never afford one of them tickets. Nah. More power to you. It's just jealousy. I ain't gonna lie, it's jealousy. Yeah. Hey, F, you're right, Alan. There's a flight that flies from Dallas to Manila. You know?
Did, it,
Huh?
did I make egg rolls?
No, it was Shanghai.
Shanghai.
She made Charles.
That is
She made Shanghai. Her Shanghai's are really really good.
Shanghai. Shanghai and lumpia.
Yeah, and the problem is that whatever we don't eat, Myles will leave on the table. She'll put the net on top, the basket, you know, to keep the flies and stuff off it. But I always do walk-bys. You know, I walk by, I grab one, you know. I shouldn't, but I do.
Egg rolls.
So Mel, are you going to be coming back to the Philippines? Are you still in the States? I feel like I need to, like I'm talking over a radio. Over. It means.
Mel travel around the world, the Philippines.
She's smart. No, she came to the Philippines for a while. Then she went to Taiwan for a while. I want to go to Taiwan. She went to Taiwan for a little while, and then she went back to the States. February, yeah. You're in Houston. What, are you working there, Mel?
What is the 10 dog's name? What's that? This one?
Oh, that's Memes. That's
Mimi.
Mimi's. She's
Yeah.
She's Mrs. The world's gonna end tomorrow.
Mimi. Mimi.
Mucky just does it. Okay, yeah. Mimi's the one that thinks the world's gonna end tomorrow. Wait, you wanna go out? Hold on. Nah. Mimi don't bite. She's just. I love her to death, but she can be a pain sometimes. You want to go out or what?
Good morning, Charles.
You want out?
No. She didn't bite.
Nah, Mimi
Just
don't
licking.
Bite. Mimi
Just
don't bite.
licking you.
Yeah, Mimi don't bite.
Only licking.
I feel sorry for her though at times, because she just wants to be loved. That's it. She just wants to be loved. You know. Yeah, a lot of people are living in it, not just in Houston, but everything is, Mal, I might be wrong, okay, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It just seems that they like to put everybody in a category, you know what I mean? And it's just, how did we get to that point? How did we get in society? How did we get to the point where they just put everybody in these categories, and it's like you're labeled, you know, it's just I don't know. I don't get it. I never did. And it wasn't always like that. You know? It wasn't always like that. Now you have family members that don't talk to each other just because they're in that category, you know?
Charles, they are both 8 years old.
Yeah, they're 8. No, they're going, when they're going to be 9?
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Mucky's 8 going on 100. Right, buddy? Right, Muck? What's wrong? He's a big baby. At the Mucky, he's the other one. He doesn't. He thinks he's the bomb. He thinks he's the bomb. He'll be laying on the floor and you're sweeping. Don't ask him to move because it ain't happening. It ain't. He'll just look at you like, sweep around me. Right? Did we bother you? I'm so sorry. I know. Yeah, I know Myles' way, man. You know? And you when
Less
you're
stress in
and I think, and maybe you realize it too, Mel, when you leave, okay, and you go to another country and you're the outsider looking in, you notice a lot more things, you know. She thinks the world about Myles, huh? You got a fan.
Thank you, Coach Charles. Thank you.
It's just, I don't know, man. I really don't like talking about politics because it's at the point anymore I don't even understand it. I don't understand Philippine politics, which is a good thing, but it's getting to the point now where it's mind-boggling.
What they are talking is
24 years Zoomy. Thank you, Charles. Hopefully you were talking to us.
Squid. Squid.
Squid.
What they are doing. Alan and
You know what a squid is? If I'm thinking what he's thinking, hopefully,
what's
Navy.
Oh, okay.
That's what they call squids. Well, actually, no, that's not true. You got your sailors and then you got your squids. There is a difference.
Because Alan says here, where you are squid.
Squid is
is
Navy.
Navy.
Yeah, I did 20 years. Actually, I did 20 years and 15 days.
I don't know what is that squid, Darren.
You only know squid? Okay.
No, that's 23.
Okay, Watson. What's the name? What other name they got for the Navy? You ain't gonna hurt my feelings because I probably already heard of them. But the funny thing is,
I will give
no
them-
problem, Charles. But the funny thing is, at the end of the day, we all get paid the same. I have talked to an Army guy, okay? He was just your run-of-the-mill Army guy. And he tried to tell me, he didn't know I was in, I didn't tell him I was in well, I was retired. I didn't tell him that, I was in the Navy, I was whatever. And he's trying to tell me he retired as an E6 and he was bringing home $8,000 a month, retirement. I was like, really, why is that? And he started throwing all these things at me. Nothing had to do with the VA. Everything had to do with, because he was Special Forces, okay, Black Ops. He kept on saying Black Ops. I was looking at him and I said, oh, really? I said, so you're getting 8,000? He goes, yeah, because I was a special rank. I said, special rank? He says, yeah, that's special. I was like, okay. The guy was full of crap. But yeah, we all get paid the same, as far as what rank, your rate, or, what you're holding, your rank. So I just,
Thank you, Filipino.
truck drivers
Ina.
will do that a lot, man. Truck drivers.
Good morning.
You'll be looking at a truck driver, okay? He's about 200 pounds overweight, all right? And he's trying to tell you that he was a Navy SEAL, and you look at him, you're okay. All right, man.
So Mel stay in Subic Bay
Check my
in
DM.
6,
Should I announce it to the
5
world?
years?
You know, I'll probably laugh. I probably heard it before. It doesn't bother me, man. I'm being honest. It doesn't bother me. Oh, here we go. You know, I heard that one. I haven't heard that one in a long. I ain't gonna say it on here, okay? Yeah, I heard of that one. You know what they say about submariners, right? Submariners, 150 men go down, 75 couples come up. That's probably where you got that one from, Daryl. No, you don't get rich in the military. Unless you're an officer and you go through the ranks and you're like a 4 or 5 star general, admiral, you know. I think they're the only ones that really make good money.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Filipinang ina. And
See, the funny thing is when the base closed down here in the Philippines, okay, I still flew in there a couple of times while I was in the Navy. I still flew in. I didn't see that Filipino Ina.
Filipinang ina. New subscriber, she said it's just
Oh, okay,
it
okay.
just
Thank you for subscribing. Oh, here we go.
She's from Baguio, it's another Ilocana. Am I right, Filipinang ina?
So you were, Mel, if you don't want to tell me, what was your rate? That's if you want to tell me. If you don't, I understand. Some people, I was an HT, so. Yeah, even when it closed down, man, we flew in sometimes. We didn't stay very long. We fly in either to pick something up, to drop something off, or receive some type of orders, and then we were gone. Yes, I was a turd chaser. Remember, if you can't fix it, duct tape it. That's what we used to say.
Duct tape.
Yeah, if you can't fix it, duct tape it. You're FC? Yeah. Did you work with the Sea-Whiz? What's the Sea-Whiz? Yeah, Sea-Whiz. I think that's the one. She also has Ilocos Norte. We're at Filipina, Ina. We're at Ilocos Norte. That's right, Alan. If it doesn't fit, make it fit. Get a BFM. Some of you know what a BFM is. Works every time.
Ano to, ti Ilocos Norte, ti Kakabagyam, Filipinang ina. We're in Ilocos Norte.
For some of you guys retiring, okay? No, for some of you guys that retired, what was it like the last year or 2 years that you were in? For me, I just couldn't wait to go. You know what I mean? Because when I first got in, we had a lot of Vietnam guys there, okay? I came in '84. A lot of Vietnam, and them boys are crazy, all right? But as they started retiring and phasing out, I think that me personally, that's when you started seeing change in the military. You know, everything was warm and fuzzy and let me rub your butt and make you feel good about yourself. But when I we were in Vietnam, but they took care of you. In Vietnam, oh, I mean, you could have done the most effed up thing in the world, and they cover your butt, okay? But in private, they get knee deep in you. It just seemed to start changing. Oh, you're a PC? Oh, that's another one. In the military, you always, especially for us, because our mail,
Why
we
PC?
didn't know where we were. I mean, our FPO address was, that was just the address. We were never there. And we would have to call, a lot of times we had to call Norfolk and say, hey, once in a while we called Hawaii, but a lot of times we had to call Norfolk to the PC guys there and say, hey, we're going to be flying here. Is there any way you can get mail there? You know? So we always, you know, we took care of the PCs, especially the ones in Hawaii.
Charles will go.
So Mel, were you like a chief? PCC? PCC.
PC3.
No, she was in for 20.
Yeah. Thank you,
Nothing's
Charles
wrong with it.
Yap. Filipino. Originally, it says that originally from Lawag, but they are already in Hawaii.
Yeah, BFM, BF8. Yeah. If it breaks, it needs to be fixed anyway. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Charles, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, it just, like I said, man, it was just, the command I was at, I hated it. Okay, I hated it. And I got nothing working with females. I have no problem working with females. I have a real problem working with males with females around, because the males, they act stupid. Okay, and I used to tell these guys, let me tell you what, that girl's not going to let you, you ain't getting nowhere with her, leave her alone. And Mel, you might know what I'm talking about, okay? It was just, it got crazy, and it was just like, they act like a bunch of the males, not the females. The females, they wanted to work, you know what I'm saying? It's the males, man, it was just like, and I'm pretty sure there might have been problems in other branches of the service, like, you know, with that. But the Navy, man, they just get stupid. The Marines, I've talked to a lot of Marines and said that does not happen. That does not. But in the Navy, I mean, they disappear. The males would disappear because they went somewhere else where this female, this new hot female was. So they disappear. You know, it was just, like I say, it wasn't the females. It was the males. Yeah, I know that was newer aircraft. Lawag, I like Lawag. It's a city, but it's. I mean, it's more busier than Badak, but they got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
You know?
What?
It was just, it was like I hated it. I hated it there. It was just kind of like, you know, it's just, is this guy doing the work he's supposed to be doing, or I need to go find him because he's, you know, hitting on somebody, you know? And it's just, it was crazy. And a lot of girls, it was funny. They were straight, but a lot of girls got so tired of it that they would tell the guy, so they leave them alone. I'm sorry, I'm into my sex. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, and the girls would come back and talk to me because they knew, you know, they could talk, because I wasn't one of these persons. If they came to me and talked to me about one of the guys, like, hey, he's starting to cross the line. And I said, okay, no problem. I would go to that guy and not say, hey, Betty told me that you are crossing the line. I wouldn't say that. I put it and say, hey, man, a lot of people are saying you need to watch yourself. They see you doing things you shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? That's how I did it. But the girls, they would. Just so these guys would leave them alone. You know? It was kind of like, they say, I'm sorry, I'm into my own sex. And I was like, I laugh. I laugh at that. I was like, she's not, I don't know. It's none of my business. What they do in their private life ain't none of my damn business.
What is magsaysay? Is it the bar? Is it a bar? What is magsaysay, Mel?
What is it?
There.
Is that hey, Mel, is that is that a bar?
Yeah, because it's putting that one.
Or ladies, working ladies, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Hey, now do you remember, okay, like I said, I was never stationed in the Philippines. I flew in and out, once in a while. Was there a bridge that you would cross that they called it Shit River? The river that the bridge crossed, and guys used to throw coins in the rivers and watch these girls dive into the water after these coins, or is that just a story that people were telling? I don't know. They used to call it Shit River. See, a lot of times when we flew in, we couldn't leave. We always had guys go and get us like something to eat, and they come back, but we weren't allowed to leave the base. Not that we were in trouble, but that we just couldn't leave the base.
Yeah, flowers.
Oh, mostly Alan, they're the ones that used to dive into the water. I used to say, why are you doing that, man? Why are you getting these kids to dive in this water? They can get, not kids, but they said it was girls. Why are you getting these girls to dive into the water? They can get sick.
Pilipinang ina, may kaditoy taag kwa. Luto ta.
Oh, Myles is no, she's past the point of good. She's awesome.
Ang luto ta.
I mean, a lot of times the way my face looks right now, that's what you would see us, with the beards and stuff like that. No, I wasn't special forces, anything like that. No. And I tell people, I always make sure, no, we weren't. But this type of jobs that we did, it was kind of like, this never happened, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I got you now. Yeah, I used to think, I was like,
Yeah.
I used to say, why don't you just give it to them? You know what I mean? Why you gotta do that? That's demeaning to them, throwing money in. Now look how much they want it, and they throw it in there. That's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they thought that was funny. How many people have ever been to Naples, sailors, ever been to Naples? And did you ever see Humpty Dumpty? They know what I'm talking about, Humpty Dumpty. I thought that was another story until I was in Naples one time, and we were allowed to go out and get something. I wanted some Italian food so bad. And somebody goes, hey, there's Humpty Dumpty. I was like, who are you talking about? And she said, that one right there, Humpty Dumpty. No teeth. Yes, yeah, Myles is awesome. Myles is awesome. Okay, we're researching where we want to start. Okay, Alan, do you want to be around a bunch of foreigners, expats, or do you just want to to live the true Filipino life.
Quiet,
That's what you gotta think.
quiet place.
Yeah.
If you want to live in a foreign, the those foreigners area, more drama created.
Yeah, I heard about that too, Alan, about the where they
I am
they take. Let's not get into full disclosure of this. They take a quart of I don't know pesos and they stack them on top of each other, and they get them hot, and the female does something, and next I think that was messed up. I thought I was told about that too, and I was like, man, that's why are you doing things like that? You know.
He said he just don't care, just asawa make happy. Asawa, wife.
Oh, wife. Where's your wife from? Because you know, man, if your wife still has family here, it's going to be close to them. It is what it is. Oh, the peso show dollar. Like I said, I never seen it, but I knew guys, man, and I'm serious. Remember when HIV and everything started coming out? All right.
Tarlac.
Tarlac City, Tarlac.
Sis in Tarlac.
You'll probably end up, and what's that? Is that a heavy?
No.
No? You might want to check that out. Have you been there in that area, Alan? Yeah, Mario, you're right. Like I said, I never actually seen this stuff like they said about if it's true about the girl on the chair that's spinning. You know what I'm talking about? Spinning. That's where they got the word spinner. That's what I've been. No. That's. I don't want to tell you. I got more. The girls in a chair, and they spin. I've been told about that. I let it. When I,
Miss that Brent. Where?
what are you talking about, Alan? I missed that point. Where? Oh yeah, Wetson. He knows what I'm talking. The spinners. Cough, cough. Next topic. I'm telling you, the Philippines is. I mean, yeah, it's crazy now. But back then, it was crazy, and nothing was ever said about it. You know, nowadays, they're thinking about no more vlogging on Walking Street. Shh. Going south, yeah, we're going south quick.
Tagarin.
We're talking around, but see, we're talking around everything. We're not like bulldozing. We're talking around. And I could tell you, I mean, like I said, man, I think guys are just saying it because they were like, I see what you're missing. Because like I said, there was a group of 5 of us, and we fly in. It was usually overnight. We sleep. We're waiting for what we need to wait for, and then usually we were out of there before noon. You know what I mean? So we also got mail. So thank you, Mel. We got mail and stuff like that. But yeah, now they say, hey, you're gonna miss this. You're gonna miss like the flight crew, the heroes, and mostly heroes. The hero flight crew would say, hey man, you're gonna miss this. You're gonna do that. You know, it was like whatever. You know. Yeah, I mean, where could you go to work and travel the world, see some things that are eye-opening, and get paid for it? I mean, I've been to Africa, you know, and people, that's when, I'm not trying to downplay it, but when people say there's poor people in the United States, go to Africa. You want to see poor? Go to Africa. Go to some of these places here in the Philippines. That's poor. That is poor, where they got no assistance whatsoever. That is poor. Smoking wings. I don't know anything about that though. Smoke wings and darts. I don't know. But you know, yeah, like I said, but I've been to some places where it would blow your mind. I mean, Africa is like Gambia and stuff like that. There's some wild places there. Wow. Yeah, yeah, Mel, they have no idea, man. They have no idea. I mean, and it tears your heart out. It does. It tears your heart out. You know, you see these people and you're like, wow. And a lot of times you'll see them where they got like, say they broke their ankle, they broke their knee, or they broke their leg, okay? And they ain't got the money to go to the doctor, so it heals wrong. You know what I mean? And I was doing a video, and I don't even know if the guy whose name was Johnny was a doctor, and he'd seen the video, and he was like, that guy that was walking in front of you, he said, and he told me, he said, just looking at him, he could tell what happened. He said he broke his leg. It looks like the upper part. I can't remember. What's that? The femur. The upper. He says it looks like he broke it, and it just healed. Held, you know, he probably had a stick tied to the side of it, and that was about it. He said, an hour surgery would correct that. Ilo City, is that nice?
Iloilo, yeah.
Iloilo?
Iloilo that is also in the south.
In the south? Everything's south of us, though.
Because
We're north.
that part is a lot of foreigner.
A lot of foreigners. See, you all might think I'm messed up, but I'll be honest with you. I try to stay away from the foreigners. I don't care what country they're from. I try to stay away from them. Not that I think I'm better than them, because I'm not. It's just that watch YouTube with all the drama and all this other stuff, the fighting,
Domagate.
you know, you know, people talk about, you know, how some Filipinos go around borrowing money from people and never pay it back. There's foreigners that do that too, quite a bit. I have TRICARE, and Myles has Phil Health. Now, both of them, it's kind of like a situation where you get your treatment, and then you pay for the treatment, and then you submit the paperwork, and you keep your fingers crossed, hoping to God that you get paid, you get reimbursed. But like I said, man, it's just
Panay City.
people don't know
Panay
poor,
Island.
man. People don't know poor. We got people here living in Badak or poor, you know, and you feel sorry for them, but. And Filipinos have also told me this. He says there's a limit to what you give them, because after a while they expect it, and then when you don't give it to them, you're the biggest son of a bitch in the world. You know what I mean? So he says you just mind, like the beggars. I won't like the beggars and the panhandlers in the market. I learned real quick. You don't give them anything. You don't give them nothing, because you give the one. Next thing you know, they're swarming you, pulling at you. That's why, and people ask, why do you always say don't touch me? Because it can get you in trouble, okay? Because they start touching in places where they shouldn't be touching, you know what I'm saying? And my fear is that things could be twisted or turned, okay? Where next thing you know, somebody sees them doing what they're doing, and you're the one that caused all the problems. If that sounds whatever. But I just, like I said, I just watch myself. And that's why I tell them when they come up, don't touch me. Yeah, there's a couple of, Sandy, there's a couple of foreigners that come here. They're younger, okay, and they'll rent a motorcycle and they have a backpack, and they drive around and they find that one place where they get a good feel, a good vibe from it. They'll stay there for a week or so, because, you know, first impressions a lot of times doesn't tell you anything. They'll stay there for a little bit. They like it. They find out where they can turn the motorcycle in. They turn the motorcycle in, and that's where they stay for a couple months.
Badjao. Darrell, he called them Badjao.
Patas, yeah, you gotta watch them. I mean, there's an incident. I told Daryl, I can't say it here, but this girl made an accent to me, and she couldn't be 12 or 13 years old, and she made a movement, and I was like, what? You know, never mind. It just blew my mind. I was like, what? Yeah, Dumageddon. Is Dumageddon as bad as they say it is?
I don't know because I've never been
You've
there.
never been there?
But Dumaguete is, as you always heard, that Dumaguete is full of drama. Drama.
Well, yeah. But who caused? Let me ask you a question. Who causes all this drama?
From the foreigners,
Exactly.
the expat.
Okay. A foreigner, you can dress them up nice. Doesn't mean you can take them anywhere nice. You know, you can dress them up, but you can't take them anywhere nice, man. Hey, 100 pesos, not $100. I was going to say, you're going to buy some milk. You saying you gave a woman $100? Yeah. Yeah, but see, the hospitals here are like a hit and miss, you know what I mean? But they do have this hospital, I don't know if it's a chain, but it's called ACE Hospitals. And from my understanding, from what I was told, that it's backed, or the people on the board or doctors from different countries. Is that true? I don't know. But it's supposed to be like the most advanced hospitals in the Philippines. It's called ACE, ACE. And they do take TRICARE. No, I don't, Alan, I don't have a cold heart. It's just, at first, and I told Myles, I used to hand out papers all the time, but when they started grabbing it and touching certain parts of my body, which, no, not some young kid, okay? And what they're doing is when a bunch of them come up on you, okay, and they start feeling for you, they're feeling where you got your stuff as far as money, and they'll pickpocket. They'll pickpocket it. They'll get in real close where they're touching up on you, and somebody will be taking things out of your pocket. I'd seen it happen to him. Who were they? Were they Jehovah's or was it the Mormons?
Where?
Here, when that one guy got his pockets at the market. I don't know if it was, the guys that ride around telling you, you need to join our church. They were at the market, and the real tall white guy, okay, he was handing out money. I said, dude, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. He looked at me, I said, you're gonna regret it. In 5 minutes, you're gonna regret it. Well, 5-10 minutes later, I seen him, and they were like on him bad. And it was like, and all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, he's walking around with this look on his face. And I looked at him and said, somebody stole my wallet. And I was like, what did I tell you, man? What did I tell you? They took his wallet. Sandy, you can move up in the mountains. You and your husband can build you a nice bamboo shack.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Why not? Could you live that way? In a bamboo?
Yeah,
No, I know you. I don't know if I could, to be honest with you.
because that was my where I lived before.
Yes, ACE does accept TRICARE. That's what I have. They had the you might want to talk about the pink worksheets they give TRICARE gives you. I know there's an ACE in Dumageddon. I know that. Yeah, but like I say, it's. Hey, Dal, how many people in the room? Like 5? I don't know. I got no. I mean, I'm not using
Darrell is still there?
yeah.
24.
24. That's 24 is better than none, right? It doesn't even bother me if I only have don't all leave, but only if I had one, at least I got somebody to talk to. So Mel, you want to come up? You want to come up and we'll. You got a pretty face. I don't know why you're worried, Mel. People are willing to look at this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're just afraid of the pervs and stuff. I understand that, you know, the perverts. And they keyboard warriors.
You better get some sleep, Darrell.
No, I haven't thought about that. I don't about TRICARE for life. I think I already. I have TRICARE, but for life, you could. Can you go? Okay, I got a question for you, Alan. Can you? How would you use TRICARE with Medicare, Medicaid? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Mel. You know what? There's just certain things they say that bother me. Hey, thank you, Timothy. $9.
Thank you,
Thank you, Timothy. I
Timothy.
appreciate it, man. I
Bug,
don't expect it, but I do appreciate it.
bug you for grand.
You know, Mal, maybe when you come back to the Philippines, me and you can do and Myles, of course, can do like a collab type deal where you come up, you can be wherever you're at, and we can come up like we have like a podcast and look at things at a female's perspective. You know, I think that would be a good idea. A Western female, her perspective on the Philippines.
Mm. Yeah, it's good.
I know, that's why I said it. I come up with genius ideas, you just learn to ignore them. Florence is still in Callaway. How's she doing?
No Medicare, try.
Alan, I'll check that out as far as strike. You know, I know, man. I try not to think of things that'll depress me. You know what I mean? Like this Social Security at 6 or 7. You know, I try not to think about it because it's just depressing. You work your whole life, and then you have somebody telling you, "No, you gotta start collecting it 3 days before you pass away." Oh well, thanks. That's good. That's good. Once you're coming home, Dal. I don't know. The Philippine medication is a hell of a lot cheaper than it is in the States. Myles on medication. Hers is her high blood pressure medication. What is it? 1,000 pesos a month?
Medication.
Yeah, your maintenance.
Oh, yeah, my maintenance is, my high blood
Yes.
is 700.
700 pesos a month for the whole month. How much do you think that would cost you in the States? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mal. I mean, you're from New York, right? New York people are so easy to talk to. I'm being sarcastic. Nah, I have family in New York. Actually, I have family in Brooklyn. Don't ask me where, but I know I got family in Brooklyn. So I always like New York people. They're funny. They're funny. Donald Trump's a New Yorker, right?
$13 for 90 days. What's that?
Alan, we're talking about 13 for 90 days. Well, I know with TRICARE, you can go to like Walgreens and whatever medication you had to get, it's like what, $3? I know when I had to use it was $3. I don't know about now.
She will be back on the 17th.
Of February, right, Mal? February, right? Did you say February? No, you're talking about Florence.
Florence. Yeah, he said it's 17 will be back to Texas.
Oh, okay. Now, do you go through like, do you use, your TRICARE? I'm pretty sure you do. Oh, June. Yeah, but see, Myles' medication is with no insurance. That's just, we go to the pharmacy, there's no insurance. Yeah, I know that, but I'm not on any kind of meds, knock on wood. But no, I'm not on any kind of meds. See, that's what happens. See, you don't drink for many years, okay? And you do all right. You start, yeah, my father had like crazy crazy, out of control high blood pressure. He used to get the red spots on his forehead, if you ever seen somebody, that's from high blood pressure. Oh, he was, oh yeah, big time.
Filipinang ina, never been to Baguio
Yeah.
ever since.
The VA, yeah.
Never.
I usually went down to the naval hospital or any kind of military hospital. You'll get it for free there too. You just show your ID card, give them the prescription, they fill it. Done deal. All right, yeah, it's late. What time is it? Wow, it's 11 o'clock at night. No, actually, it's 10 o'clock for you. Yeah, you need your beauty rest, though. You need it.
You need to call her, Darrell, before you sleep.
Yeah, Mal, when you're getting ready to come here, let me know. And maybe we'll set something up where we can do like a podcast. Like I said, man, a single female's perspective of the Philippines, and we could talk about whatever I won't put you on the spot, you know what I'm saying? I won't, whatever you want to talk about, it's fine. It's up, it's up to you.
Yes, Darrell, good night too. Have a good night's sleep.
Oh yeah, we might as well cut this out. We're past, we always say we'll do it for an hour, right? And we go past. Now it's going on 11:10 here. So I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. And I do appreciate you all watching, being a part of everything. I'm going to try StreamYard next week where I can bring up, if you say something constructive or nicely, I can go ahead and bring it up, you know what I mean? And like Timothy Clark, appreciate your donations. We don't expect it, but we do appreciate it. So I'll talk to you all later. Talk to you all again next Sunday, same time.
Thank you, Mel, Darrell.
All right, Mal, you be good. Stay out of trouble.
Alan.
All right.
Philippine.
All right, Alan, Weston, Ina, all y'all, thank you very much.
Tita Marie.
Timothy Clark, you be good.
Beth
Talk to you later.
Review.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You don't know when to end.